Hi, guys. I'm Rochelle Boo Keeling from King of the Nerds, and you're listening to Jesse Elaine on Bring Me Your Torch.
Welcome to another episode of Bring Me Your Torch. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Elaine.
And can it be? Has it finally happened? Are you back home?
I am back home, and I'm excited to be here.
Yay, no more phone call podcast, real podcast again. Woohoo!
Yay! Finally.
This episode, we're covering AwesomeCon, which I attended this past weekend. And unfortunately, you were out of town and couldn't make it. But I sent you some pictures. I showed you what was going on. What do you think?
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, AwesomeCon. It's Washington, D.C.'s premier comic book and pop culture convention. And there were people there. You know, they make the rounds at all of these conventions. We had William Shatner and George Takei from Star Trek.
So cool.
Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, doing the crane. You had Sean Astin, who I love. He was in Goonies, great movie. Rudy, great movie. Lord of the Rings, great movie. Although here I have it written down, Lord of the Tings. And John Rhys-Davies, that you may not know the name, but if you saw him, you would definitely know who he was. Or if you even heard his voice. He was in Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones. Then we had Mark Pellegrino. He's Jacob in Lost. Michael Biehn. He was in Terminator and Aliens. Power Rangers. Everybody. I could go on and on forever. But that's just a few of the people who were there.
Nobody big, right?
Oh, how dare you say that? We're never going to get them on the show now.
No, they're awesome.
They're all wonderful. Unfortunately, I'm too much of a cheapskate to pay $50 to get a picture taken. But when I was there, though, we were there as press. And there was so much to see and so much to do. I actually walked 9 miles on Saturday going all over the place.
Jeepers.
And, it was nuts. I went to the Lord of the Rings panel. I saw Mark Pellegrino. Because have you seen The Big Lebowski?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't realize this guy, Mark Pellegrino, again, if you see him, you'd recognize who he was. He was the blonde dude in the beginning that shoved the dude's head in the toilet. I never knew that was him. I'm like, whoa.
I love White Russians.
Go for one right now, actually. So when I was there, I bought a Princess Bride piece of art, a little kind of cartoony thing with Inigo Montoya on, because it's my favorite movie of all time. I had comic book artist Jamal Eigold draw a head sketch of Green Lantern Guy Gardner for me, because he's my favorite character. So there was a lot of geeky stuff I was into, a lot of cosplayers, a lot of cute women cosplayers. It was fun. So I got a few interviews in them while I was there, too. I interviewed Ming Chen. He's from AMC's Comic Book Men. He's associated with Kevin Smith. You know him from like Jane Silent Bob, Clerks, Mallrats, those movies. Oh, yeah. Ming also has his own podcast, I Sell Comics, on Kevin Smith's network. There's called the Smodcast. So it's the Smodcast podcast. And I even interviewed these siblings who were sitting next to me at one of the panels. It was Sally and Scotty Stevens. It was Scotty's first time at a panel. So I figured, hey, let's get a sense and see how they're doing. It's only a few minutes, but it was listening to the people. But before we get to those interviews, you did show up and did come to the after party. And what did you think of the after party?
You know what? I loved the after party. We got there early, which made it even better, because a lot of people only like to show up late. It was from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. And most people came, at 10, 11, But we were there pretty much at 8 p.m.
And, I've heard of a cash-only bar, but this was a credit-only bar, which made things kind of messy.
No, I thought that was your pet peeve about it, but I thought it was pretty awesome. Hanging out, with Ming, he's pretty awesome. And then just meeting all the different, Robert was so cool. And meeting just...
Robert Bruce we met. He's also on Comic Book Men. He's a self-styled pop culturalist and consultant. And like you were going to say, he's a chill dude, is he? Is he not?
He's so chill, and he's so down to earth, and he's so nice. I could just hang out with him all the time.
First, we started talking to him like, oh, we bugging him,
Yeah.
Be a fan, not a fanatic, they always say. But he was just hanging out. We're, shooting the breeze for a couple hours. It was like 2 hours, wasn't it, you think?
Yeah, he totally did. And Jesse gets all starstruck, and I just walk up. I'm like, hey, do you want to do a podcast together? And you're like, oh, God, Elaine, you're totally
And they're all like, yeah, we'll happily do it. I'm like, yeah, okay. They're just being nice. They got their own things going on. They can't be bothered with our little rinky-dink podcast here. But I also met this cosplayer. She was the Ming and Anamiya were the not co-hosts, kind of the
sponsors-ish.
Yeah, they were the people that you were there to see. She was very, very pretty, as anybody who can look her up will see. And I was wondering, who the hell is she trying to be? And she said she was Katya from Archer. And I've told you a few times, I think Archer's one of the funniest shows on TV. And the second she said that, it just snapped all into place, and she was there with a couple other people. And it was just a lot of fun. And I thought we should also mention, too, when we were talking to Robert Bruce, one of the women we were talking to, she was sitting there. She was writing a female stoner buddy comedy.
Which I really want to star in with her.
And I don't know if she minds, but her webpage is Becky Gaskill, just as it sounds, BECKYGASKILL. And I don't know if I'll ever see her again, but I would definitely throw a few bucks at Kickstarter if she tried doing something with that.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a good idea to get some funding for it. Little crowdfunding.
So my goal, by the way, is to now be on Comic Book Men. I mean, I was trying to lay it in with Ming and with Robert getting on there. And they said, you have something worthwhile. Let us know. And, I'm a big comic book nerd. I got a bunch of comic books back home at my parents' place. So next time I head back to Connecticut, I'm going to have to go through and see what I have that I can get on that show.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
And I will, of course, wear my Bring Me Your Torch t-shirt while I'm on the show if I ever got the show. All right, so without further ado, let's play the. I think I'm going to play the Stevens siblings first, and then we'll end with the one and the only Ming Chen.
Sounds good.
We're here at AwesomeCon waiting for the Lord of the Rings panel, and who am I here with?
Sally Stevens.
And Scotty Stevens.
My brother.
And now you said this is not your first time, but it is his first time.
It's actually his first convention ever.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
Now what are you guys here to see?
Well, Scotty is definitely wanting to see these guys right here.
Yeah.
Yep, Sean Astin.
John Rhys-Davies.
And I'm here for Doctor Who and Buffy people.
I was mad that I'm not a Doctor Who person, although my cousin was a producer on Torchwood, which is, I guess, kind of related. But I wanted to see Karen Gillan. And I will admit, I kind of have a crush on her. I was kind of crushed when she wasn't coming. But I think with Sean Astin, I mean, the guy is Mikey in Goonies. He's Rudy. I hate Notre Dame, and I love Rudy. And then Lord of the Rings. I mean, the guy, and then he's Patty Duke. It's crazy. So were you guys here yesterday, or is today your first day?
We were here yesterday also.
And you going to be here tomorrow?
Oh, yes. We're 3 days.
Sure.
I think my number one guy to get is George Takei.
Oh, yep.
I just want to hear that voice.
I actually met him at a Star Trek convention when I was about 12 or 13.
I'm not just saying this. I think George Takei is literally the nicest person on the face of the earth. I mean, he just wants the best in people. And then on the other side, you have Bill Shatner.
Well, I met him last year also at it was a multi-fandom con in Kansas City, and they were doing a 25th anniversary reunion of The Next Generation, and he was there moderating, but he was very gracious. He was very, I mean, some people wanted to ask him questions, but he always deferred it back to, the Next Gen cast. I thought he did a very nice job of that. I was impressed.
Well, that's good. I've heard the stories, but I like to think the best in people, so. Well, thank you very much, guys, for talking to me today, and enjoy the rest of the con.
You too.
I'm here with Ming Chen, one of the stars of AMC's Comic Book Men, as well as the Smodcast podcast, I Sell Comics. Thanks so much for coming today.
No problem. Thanks for being here.
So how's the experience been? Is this your first AwesomeCon? You were here last year, right?
I was not. This is my first AwesomeCon. So far, it's living up to its name.
We're winding down the second day of AwesomeCon. Is there any pecking order here? I mean, I think Bill Shatner's, probably number one, but after that, do we get, George Takei or Ralph Macchio?
I put George in front of William, but that's personally, as a fellow Asian, and I think, I think Shatner as the captain is probably number one. George is a close second.
Well, let's not forget, George is now the captain of the USS Excelsior. He'll tell everybody that.
Right. That's yes. And then, if you look line-wise, by how many people, the Doctor Who people definitely got a great line. Kevin Eastman, co-created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, has a very consistent line. Yeah, of course, there's I always like to look at the pecking order like you do. It's like who are the big fish at this con?
I put George first, too, just because he's a nice guy. I mean, Bill Shatner seems like the kind of guy that you can't look at him in the eyes or he fires you, from what I've heard.
Yeah, there's a little fear going on. So, George, you can, I saw him a week ago. I was at a con in Houston. I literally just went up to him and introduced myself. I'd interviewed him before. I know he probably didn't remember me. But, again, we got to talk for about 10, 15 minutes. It was great.
And like George says, it's crazy as Shatner gets older, his hair gets deeper and darker. For me, you're a celebrity. But, here, these are people here that you have grown up seeing a lot of them. Do you get starstruck still?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I fanboy. Do I fanboy? You mean? Yeah, absolutely. Before I go to a con, I like to see who's coming, and just see who I might have a chance of meeting. I want to Instagram photos with people that I admire, celebrities, as much as the next guy.
You never know who's going to walk by. I think my first con was in 2002 in Chicago, and I'm just sitting there, and Lou Ferrigno walks by, and like, oh my God, it's the Incredible Hulk, and he's just a dude walking by, but to me, it's like, oh my God, it's the kid I grew up watching.
Yeah, it's the Hulk. He's not painted in green paint, but it's still the Hulk. Yeah. Even here, it's like, oh, hey, holy, that's Casper Van Dien. It's like, war, we're going to war. Freaking Starship Troopers.
Johnny Rico, not even Casper Van Dien to me. It's Johnny Rico always.
Yeah, for sure. And Michael Biehn is here. I haven't met him yet, but freaking Kyle Reese, man, he saved the future.
I saw the end of his panel, and they were kind of describing him as a cranky old man. He was kind of going off about he doesn't like any sequels, and the sequels just all suck. So,
except for his.
Of course.
Of course. All right. Right on. He's probably just mad he might be a little upset he got cut out of Terminator 2, which they should have left him in, but whatever.
I wish he had a part in the new one. I don't think he does. At what point do you start realizing, you know what, I'm actually someone that people want to be, I'm a celebrity. I mean, it's hard to imagine in your mind that you're always just regular you to yourself, but...
I try not to think that big, but we are getting invited to a lot of comic book conventions, which is great because I love coming to these. I would be coming to, I would be going to a convention anyways, so the fact is, hey, they invite me out and I get to sit behind a table and meet people who like the show, it's cool. I don't know if there's a moment of realization. Yeah, I get recognized here and there.
You come for free, you get paid, it's great all around.
It is not a bad gig by any stretch. I wish this upon everybody.
There's two more questions for you. One, you've met a lot of cool people on the show. Gene Simmons, Adam West. Who is the guy that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just met that guy and he spoke to me?
I mean, almost everybody. I'll two come to mind. Stan Lee for sure. Stan Lee, coolest guy. Father of the Marvel Universe, father of all. I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for him. I don't know if any of us would be here. So that. He was pretty awesome. He came in full of energy, answered all our questions, signed a whole stackload of crap that we put in front of him. It's just something that is one guy I'll be able to tell my grandkids about, and that'll be awesome. Another Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian from Star Wars. The episode he was on, we played a high stakes game of Go Fish, and he starts busting out the Colt 45 lines, and I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome! Like I love, it works every time. I say that all the time. It's great. So
everybody's bucket list should have drinking Colt 45 with Billy D. Williams on there, because your life isn't complete till that happens. I don't think.
Oh no! And few people get to do that. So So I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed.
So before we go, what can I expect at the after party tonight?
You can expect to I think there'll be two DJs dropping beats, and it's funny, they have me co-hosting with cosplayer Anamia, and you look at Anamia, she is extremely beautiful, but her personality also matches her beauty. I'm sitting here, I was like, what do you need me here for? You guys are here to see her, but I love to party. I like to have a good time. Let's party, let's dance, let's take some photos, let's hang out. This is a true time where we can just hang out, where there's no con and no line control, and let's have some fun.
Can I rely on you to be my wingman?
Are you looking for a young lady tonight? Well, there should be plenty. Hopefully it's not a sausage party. That's a fear. But even if it is, that's cool. But it's I hope some ladies come on. Of course, I will help you out.
I saw the pictures from last year. It looked like a geeky version of Eyes Wide Shut. Everybody wearing masks and not quite knowing who they are. Aww. Only instead of the fancy mask they had on there, it's kind of Batwoman or that kind of thing.
Way more interesting. Well,
thank you very much for taking a few minutes with us. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks again for joining us here on Bring Me Your Torch. Make sure to go to our website at www.bringmeyourtorch.com. What can you find when you're there?
You can find links to facebook.com/bringmeyourtorch or twitter.com/bringmeyourtorch without the H.
No H. You also find how to get us on Stitcher, on iTunes, on YouTube, on all these different things. You can find us there without going to our website, too, as Elaine always likes to point out. But, it's a one-stop shop there to make it a little easier for you. And just remember, till next time, you may have come here as a stranger, but we're leaving as friends. We'll see you next time on Bring Me Your Torch.
Bye.